Hey everyone, Scott here to discuss Army of Darkness, starring Bruce Campbell and Beth Davids, Marcus Gilbert, Ian Abercrombie, forgive me if I said that wrong, and Richard Grove, directed by Sam Raimi. Now, before I get into this is my first viewing, but I hear this is the best of the series. So, because it's my first viewing, let's just get straight into it. We pick up with Ash, returned by Bruce Campbell as a slave, as he narrates the last two movies of how he got there to begin with. And that's a good way to catch the audience up that have never seen the first two movies to speed on what's going on in the series. And I really liked that, as it was a good choice. Ash gets captured by Lord Arthur, played by Marcus Gilbert, or they're led to believe he's with Duke Henry, played by Richard Grove, as he arrives as Arthur's palace, as Sheila, played by Beth Davids, tries to find her brother who is dead. And how so? While Ash is about to be put in the pit and get killed by a monster in the pit, while Ash tries to get out of it, but he's forced in thanks to Sheila throwing a rock at him. The monster? And what's this monster? A dead person turned into a zombie, and someone throws it in his chainsaw, hands it to Ash, and Ash kills the zombie and gets himself a way out. As the zombie is squished, and Ash gets out wondering who wants to get beat up by Ash, and lets Duke Henry go, and that's not what gets Ash in the castle, but his 12 gauge shotgun, and kills the zombie with the gun, and that zombie kept ticking for the longest time as Ash wants a way out of this medieval times would be his world, but he's put in. Ash is treated like a king while an elderly woman turns evil as there's zombies in this medieval times while Ash shoots off the zombie and kills the zombie and decides to get armored up and says groovy, which made me laugh as the acting in this is much better, sure, this time than the first two times. Ash goes on the mission with Arthur to get the Book of the Dead, and he has to say some magic words to get him back to the world he belongs in, and he rides his horse while something evil goes towards him, and the horse, and he is led to a windmill, and stay there until it is gone, and it is encountered by tiny men that look just like him, which was funny. But the funniest part was he got his ass handed to himself, and he wakes up to one of his tiny selves going in his mouth and gives himself some hot chocolate, which was absolutely fucking brilliant. Ash gets a third eyeball on his shoulder and gets into a fight with his twin side stuck on him, who I'm guessing is going to be the bad guy in this movie, and gets out of him and acts like a clown. And he shoots his twin and cuts it up and buries it, which didn't work for the first time, but does it this time for now. But I had a laugh out so hard because how in the fuck did he bury his own dead body? Which was absolutely fucking hilarious. Ash finds the three books of the dead and gets stuck into one of them, and his face turns larger, which was bad looking for sure. But hell, I'm having a good time with it. The second book bites and acts like a bat and says different words that doesn't exactly get him home, so he's stuck for now while Arthur is telling people to stay indoors while Ash gets corpses attacking him from the underground, which looked a little cartoony, sure, but eventually he runs out of there and something evil rises from the ground as Ash gets back from the castle and he failed his mission while a winged dead monster who I'm guessing is him, Evil Ash. Let's call him Evil Ash for the rest of the show. Kidnaps Sheila, and the Evil Ash with some skeletons that look so bad. As the effects in this was bad looking, sure, and everybody with an exception of Ash is bad in this movie, as this feels more like a B movie as it's fun that way. Ash convinces the army of Arthur's men and Henry's men to join to fight against the evil dead, and Arthur's men joins him to fight against the dead while Sheila turned into the dead thanks to Evil Ash, and her effects look kinda silly to my eyes. The army of the dead comes towards the castle and fights with the army of the living with Ash. As the evil gets in the castle, they look for the book of the dead that Ash stole earlier in the film. As they blow up the dead, things as they get away into the gates, while the living hold the gates but are unsuccessful. But I'm cracking up on how bad these effects look on the skeletons and how they fight. It's really making me laugh. Back to the review. Ash comes by with a machine gun that kills every single dead. No, not a machine gun, but a machine thing. Kills every single dead thing until he finds Sheila is alive but is still with the dead as she attacks him, while Arthur is shot by an arrow until Henry's army comes in to fight with the dead. As evil Ash tells his army to attack Ash, and he kicks their asses until Sheila jumps on Ash's back as the evil Ash gets to the book of the dead, and Ash fights back, and they have a bottle, and Ash stabs the evil, or should I say evil Ash, in the back and puts him on fire, and evil Ash comes back and says, "I've got a bone to pick with you," and Ash beats his ass and blows him up. As this dialogue is hysterical, and these effects look absolutely cheesy. I was laughing my ass off. Sheila comes back to normal, being a normal human being, I'll say. And Arthur and Henry call truce to each other and fight side by side for the rest of their lives as Ash gets a second chance at getting home and says goodbye to Sheila and gets back home working at a store with a female worker thinking Ash's story is cute as Ash sees a dead monster in his store and shoots it off with, and the climax was a good time while laughing my ass off as this was fun. Now it's time for my rating. I'll give this movie a 7.1 out of 10. Easily the best in the series, as the acting has improved and Ash is still the best character in this movie, while everybody else is bad, and these effects look cheesy and pretty bad, as well as the effects look silly in my eyes. This felt like a B movie, as it was very entertaining with some things in this that look hilarious. And while laughing my ass off is the style of the movie. It was just brilliant, as I was truly laughing my ass off. I had a lot of fun with the movie, as this plot is making me giggle. So for that reason alone, as this is again as a B movie kind of recommendation, as it was fun and it made me bust my ass up with comedy. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next time I will be back with the 2013 version of Evil Dead. And until then, they're gonna get you. Not another peep. Time to go to sleep.